Hey guys, I'm Ryan Wright.
And Alyssa be crazy.
Valentine's Day is approaching us this week, so I thought, why not give you guys our top 5 favorite romantic comedies?
All rom-com.
I'm here with Alyssa be crazy, so we're gonna take turns giving our top 5. Number 5. My number 5 is Groundhog Day. Classic movie, Bill Murray. Curly-haired actress, forgot her name, used to be famous. It's just a great movie. It's really funny. It's a classic. It's more of a comedy than a rom-com, but there is a strong romantic comedy element to it, and it is so fucking funny. Bill Murray's awesome. I would love to repeat the same day over and over again, because I'd be the master at picking up prostitutes.
My number 5 is Just Go With It. Adam Sandler, surprisingly Jennifer Aniston, also Brooklyn Decker, and a cameo done by Nicole Kidman. It is surprisingly funny. It's one of those ones you look at and you're like, I don't know about it, but then you watch it and you laugh your butt off the entire time. There are 2 kids involved and those kids make the movie. Everything they say is just like laughing so hard you're like holding your ribcage worthy.
Number 4. My number 4 is When Harry Met Sally. It's a story about 2 best friends of 10 years who fell in love. Just like Veronica and I.
Aww.
It's a great movie. The chemistry is undeniably there. It's hilarious. It's a great commentary film. Really captures what it's like when you're 2 friends who end up sleeping together, which is awesome. My
number 4 is 50 First Dates. I'm sure all of you have seen it by now. Also Adam Sandler, which is surprising because I'm actually not a huge Adam Sandler fan. I just thought like certain movies of his that are similar, I guess. And also Drew Barrymore. I love her. It's about a guy who moves to the island, or no, he lives on the island. Anyway, She has amnesia and short-term memory loss, and she like doesn't forget that she knows this guy, but he like is so dedicated to being in love with her, he doesn't even care, and he makes it work. It's magical.
And it has a great ending.
It has a walrus.
It's a great ending. Really does tug at my heart, that ending.
It does.
Number 3. Our number 3. We both have this as our number 3. Crazy Stupid Love. I love me a good Ryan Gosling film.
Me too.
And he proved he can do comedies very well when it came to that story. This film I thought was just a magical experience. I had a great time watching it. Steve Carell, awesome in it. Ryan Gosling, also awesome in it. It's got like several different love stories going on. The little kid too. It's really felt like the chemistry of the actors is great. It's just a really good time.
And I love how it's actually real. Like it plays on the chemistry of each character and how they all interact. And you really can identify with each of the characters because at some point growing up you experience something any of the characters have felt at some point during the film. And I love how they all cross over and they all interact with each other sooner or later. It has that very Valentine's Day feel.
Absolutely. Number 2. And my number 2 is The Graduate. I wouldn't know if you would consider this a romantic comedy, but it was that film that I saw when I was really young where I really felt the romance. I really feel the love in this film. I love how there's a sexual story and then there's a love story. I think that it captures love in a really interesting way. By the time it ends, you don't know. It's not like it's happily ever after. Like you don't know what journey they're gonna embark on, but it's worth taking that chance.
My number 2 is Pretty Woman. If you haven't seen it, that is a big mistake. Huge. It's probably one of the most popular romantic stories ever made. First off, just because it's Richard Gere and Julia Roberts and they are such a dynamic duo. I mean, they've worked together so many times for a good reason. It's the classic Cinderella story, you know, growing up poor, don't really have anything, and then
falling in love with a whore.
It's a daily struggle.
Daily struggle. Number 1. My number 1 is Notting Hill. I just adore the fuck out of that movie. The chemistry between a celebrity and Hugh, like when Hugh Grant was in his prime of doing these rom-coms. It was just amazingly fantastic. Julia Roberts is great in it. Hugh Grant is great in it. I forgot the other actor's name, but he's the roommate of Hugh Grant. He's really funny. It's a movie that's really built off the chemistry of an average Joe and a celebrity falling in love with each other. It feels so authentic at the same time. It's like a fantasy, but it really does work.
And my number 1 is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I love this movie. It's like just the perfect amount of cheese where it's like just so delicious. You fall in love with the characters, and the characters are kind of vicious towards each other, actually, not gonna lie. But that's what makes you fall in love with them even more, is that they're just at each other's throats so much. You're rooting for both of them at the same time, which is rare. I think that you find in a movie because you're either rooting for one side or the other.
And the chemistry is just fantastic.
So amazing. They're really great together.
Rom-coms are mainly built off the chemistry of the main actors, and I think in all these movies we listed, the chemistry is really good.
Oh, definitely.
I know your number 5 was Just Go With It. I don't think it's one of the greatest films, but I still can't deny the fact that Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston have pretty good chemistry.
Surprisingly, that's one of those duos that you look at again and you're just not really sure about it. They really proved a point with that one, I think.
Well, anyway, guys, that's our top 5 favorite rom-coms. What are your top 5 favorite rom-coms? If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to The Real Rejects, and you can check out Alyssa Be Crazy's channel, who just did a vlog with none other than Shane the Dawson.
Oh, yes.
So check that video out. There'll be a link in the description box. So yeah, Alyssa Be Crazy.
It was fun.
Shit is getting crazy.
I know.
I want to be in a rom-com.
Make one.
I want it to be about a guy who gets like genital herpes.
Ah.
And meets a fat woman who accepts him for who he is because she's fat and she has no one else, you know?
You know, I'm sure a lot of people can identify with that. You should really go after that, capitalize on it, make it work.
Herpaphatus. That's what I'll call it.
Really?
Herpaphatus.
He has a genius mind.
What if a guy with herpes and a fat girl fell in love? Herpaphatus.